I think this movie healed my inner child a little bit. Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Adam here, and today we are going to be talking about Masters of the Universe. This is an adaptation of the classic series, and it tells the story about Prince Adam, who has been separated from his home and the Sword of Power for 15 years. After reuniting, he attempts to return home only to discover that the evil Skeletor has taken over. To save his family and his world, Adam must join forces with his closest allies, Teela and Duncan, Man-at-Arms, and embrace his true destiny as He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. I can't lie, I wasn't really sure what to think when I saw the initial trailers. I was not sure how they were going to tackle it. Also, because the cartoon is so campy, so over the top, how could one possibly translate this to the big screen? Luckily, Travis Knight and company embrace the silliness and do this all with a sort of wink to the camera. They really lean into the camp and they really embrace this meta sensibility about the movie. It simultaneously acknowledges how ridiculous this all is without doing it disparagingly. It does it from a place of love. I think the comedy is pretty smart for the most part. It is self-referential, it is witty, it is commenting on the ridiculousness that comes with this world. How can you not acknowledge how goofy it is that like a giant tiger and an evil skeleton are there, you know? I do feel like sometimes it has that like Marvel thing where the humor is kind of undercutting certain moments and not allowing the moment to breathe. Like there are certain scenes that are a little more emotional, that do have sincerity to it, and then we have to button it with like a weird little quip, and sometimes that happens and takes you out of it, but for the most part, I think this is really successful with its comedy. It reminded me a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, a very underrated, very fun film. It's all coming from a place of love and admiration for the source material. We've got some great writers listed on this. We've got David Callahan, who was responsible for Shang-Chi and Beyond the Spider-Verse. We've got Aaron and Adam Nee, who are most notable for The Lost City. And we've got Chris Butler, who worked on Paranorman and Kubo and the Two Strings. And this film is directed by Kubo and the Two Strings' director Travis Knight. He's also got Wildwood coming this fall. A lot of hands involved in the story, but I do think they are all pulling it together in a really fun way. Visually, Travis Knight is tapping into the vibrancy of the story. It is so colorful, it is so alive and vibrant and kooky crazy. I really love the visual flair to this. Especially as the film goes on, the action sequences become more and more stylized. I really love specifically the last like 15 minutes or so. There is such a bold, vibrant, distinct, stylized action that really pops off the screen. The world of Eternia is lively and vibrant as well. It doesn't feel so drab, and when the movie is maybe a little duller in its color tone, it is intentional. It's usually when we are in the real world versus this fantastical world. Visual effects wise, I think it is a little inconsistent. There's some stuff that looks really great, like I mentioned, the stylized fight sequences. I think Skeletor looks amazing. There are some other moments that look a little rough. For example, whenever we're riding Cringer looks a little rough at times. So it's not perfect, but nothing super distracting, nothing where I was kind of like, oh, I think this movie is a wash. It's also bolstered by a really fun cast. I think Nicholas Galitzine is an incredible lead in this. I think he is someone who's always demonstrated a proclivity for comedy, specifically in Bottoms. If you know, you know. I think he's terrific there, and this movie really allows him to tap back into his sensibility for comedy, both physical and verbal. I really love the way he plays with Adam's physicality when he is not in touch with his power versus when he is. I think not only does it serve the movie comedically, but it also uplifts the themes we are exploring, which I'll get more into. I think Camila Mendes is really good. I wish she had a little more to do as Teela, but she really holds her own. Idris Elba's great, per usual. Alison Brie is a lot of fun as Evil Lynn. She has some really like iconic line reads that had my whole theater howling. And unfortunately, Jared Leto's kind of amazing in this as Skeletor. This is probably his best performance. I can't lie to you. It's terrific. Skeletor really runs away with the entire thing. I mentioned some thematic exploration earlier. I've seen this movie described as Barbie for boys, and I agree with it in the sense that it is approaching these themes of gender roles and patriarchal pressures from a beginner's perspective, right? The movie is really interested in exploring these ideas of what makes a man a man. Is a man because they are physically strong and because they can break things and because they have this physical intimidation factor behind them, or are they a man because they look out for others, because they have character, because they have empathy? It's not going very deep into those themes. I think this is presenting it in a very accessible way. And you know what? I think there is room for that. I do think we need to meet people where they're at. I think this is being made in mind for general audiences who maybe haven't been challenged in those regards. I think it's a really cool opportunity to take the He-Man kind of trope, this big macho muscle man, and interrogate it a little bit for modern audiences. He is still allowed to be a hero, but he is bringing in this added dimension of empathy and warmth, and Nicholas Galatzin's performance is uplifting that tenfold. He is bringing so much heart and love to the role, and his physicality, he's really uncomfortable in his body, even though he is this big hulking figure. It's really smart and really well done. This movie, I think, would have meant a lot to a younger version of me, and maybe I'm biased because my name is also Adam, and you know, I didn't fit into these traditional masculine molds and had trouble pleasing my father, but you know, maybe I'm biased. But I do think movies like this are important, these kind of popcorn blockbuster movies that are appealing to a wide audience, that want to say something and are saying something earnestly. I can't help but think there are going to be young children, specifically young men, who are going to see this and feel empowered to, you know, move through the world hopefully a little kinder and a little more empathetic, and won't prioritize just physical brawn. I just think this is a fun summer movie. It's nothing revolutionary or groundbreaking, but I had a blast with it. I gave it 4 stars. Check it out in theaters, please. I would love more of this. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you do all the things you're supposed to do with the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me everywhere, and I'll see you on the next one. Lots of things coming up, lots of reviews coming, and we're going to be revving up early Oscar predictions soon, so you don't want to miss it. Till then, bye!